Alright, welcome back to the table. And we are going to pick up again the last 100 yards. And for those that don't really know it, well, it's purely tactical, focused game. And it's not really highly suitable for solitaire. It's not really complex, although it's on the medium-high situation. It just has a lot of exceptions, and I came back to it because there was a lot of clarifications along this 220, and that, yeah, it was a lot of doubts from the players, and it gave birth to a very renewed rulebook and playbook and casualty tracks and play rates and all that. So I waited as long as I could to, bring it back to the table. At the unfortunate event of bumping into a vassal game that the player was more interested in competitive side, so he bent the rules all the way he could, and man, I got so pissed that, didn't really like it, so doesn't really matter. So now I want to get back to it like completely new, relearn the rules. I am using it to develop, or at least to try to mingle some miniature rule set parts with it, to make it more interesting and blind play from both players. But let's start from the beginning. So mission 1 is a very introduction mission. The American GIs have one single platoon. Okay, platoons have sections. Each platoon has 3 sections. Each platoon has 1 lieutenant. But on the opposite side, we will have the Germans with the 2nd company, with the 3rd and 2nd platoons. So as you see, it's very symmetric regarding order of battle. Given we have Americans already fighting Germans in European terrain, we can assume this is 44 and 45, so there's a very different allocation of troops, and we can say they are pretty much similar. There's a difference, especially regarding, let me grab 2 of them. One of the major differences is actually their combative values, right? So, I mean, the firepower is 1. It reflects the weapons, and come on, let's be real. A rifle is a rifle, submachine gun is a submachine gun, be it a Tommy gun or MP40, doesn't really matter. And the guys that handle the gun, this is the number on the corner is the cohesion. So both are fairly similar regarding their morale and their combative values, but we have some of the German ones that are pretty slightly more grizzled, so they have a 7. The number in the middle with the white on the GIs and the black on the Germans is just the platoon number, and the color refers to the company they belong to. So white is Baker, and for example, for the Germans, the black is the 2nd company. What did I just did? Nope, I adjusted something here. Oh, how can I? Well, I adjusted the brightness. I can't reset it. Okay, it doesn't matter. The ones in the corners is regarding vehicle combat. We won't really use that in this mission. And what is the one, we have a 10 for the Germans there and the 8 for the Americans, and that is also differentiates their combative value. The Americans have a maximum, let's say, range or effective tactical value of 8, and the Germans have a 4. The number in the corner, the tiny weeny corner there, it's just their squad number. Alright, so we have a 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the Americans have it as well. Yes, and of course, oh, let me pause it. This is unfocused. Back. Okay, and each unit, as well as the leaders, have it's not a step loss, it's a disruption. Okay, once a squad loses a step, it's actually replaced by an element. Okay, so elements are simply less combat value. They might do as good as the other ones, but instead of 1 they have a 0. I mean, their combat range or effective range remains the same. They have some values regarding vehicles different, and also their cohesion level might be different. Then we have the leaders. Example, we have Jackson, which is the lieutenant for the 2nd Platoon Baker Company, right? He has a cohesion value as well. He can help the units to move, to regroup, to rally, and yeah, he can be killed as well, and he also can become victim of a frightful situation and be disrupted. But the leader is not it's not a combat unit. Is a non-vehicle unit, but is not a combat unit. Now, I was showing the elements, and each platoon has one. Okay, has a stack of elements. Elements are used for casualty tracking. Well, not really, for casualty replacement. For example, this unit gets damage, gets casualties, it's replaced by 1. Another thing that the squads can do is one of the squads can actually, but only one, can actually, at any point in the battle during the activation sequence of the platoon, to split in 2 elements, right? The others remain because obviously they will be counted for the casualty tracking. Okay, so the same with the Germans. Let's say Squad 1, 2nd Platoon wanted to split, so it would be replaced by 2 random elements. Yes, it's random. You put them in a cup or little box, whatever you want, and take one at random. Now, this mission is not only these units. The Americans have also access to 130 cal. There's quite a few, and it's randomly picked. Okay. When there's more than 1 platoon, like we will see in the example of the Germans, the MG can be attached to one of the platoons. So for this scenario, the Germans also have MG 42. we pick it at random, and there she is. Okay, so that's the forces that will fight in this mission 1. Okay, but that's as much as it goes. Let me just put all the MGs away. Okay, so we have our forces, and for this scenario the German forces will have to enter. Yeah, there's a traffic jam in front of the house for some reason. The Germans will have to enter. They are outside the map, and the Americans will deploy in the town. And the whole idea for the Germans are attackers, is to capture as much as they can of the little hamlet village. Yeah, it's more of a little conglomerate of farmhouses, really. All right. Apart from that, and the maps are they can all go together. There's a ton, and they are all double-faced, so they can be set up together to make a big battlefield with combined arms and everything. But we'll reach that phase when we do. Okay, we have a casualty track here, and basically it's pretty simple. I see that the updated rulebook has a casualty differential different from the book I had. So that's why another thing, I waited a lot of time not to print errata after errata after week after week. So basically I went and printed everything, and yeah, spiral bounded, I can lay it flat on the table without any problems. So for this mission is different from what I had before. And remember, the Germans are the attackers, and the Germans for this scenario have a casualty differential limit of 4. The little number is the score. Okay? The Americans have 2. Right? And now you are thinking, holy crap, the Germans have almost double the forces, and they can take more casualties. Yeah, exactly. The game is not really a symmetric thing, one for one and chess game. It's portrays what could have happened in those last 100 yards that your company must accomplish their objective. It's the very final attack. It's the last 100 yards before you say we took the hill, right? That's the main focus of the game. It's not this big echelon attack. No, it's the very last 100 yards of the fight. Okay, we have an initiative track, and for this scenario the initiative is for the Germans. Another thing we have in the game, which I bloody love it, is a time track. There's no turns in the game. There's only time that goes by as the battle rages. Okay? So that being said, we have everything set up except the forces in the map. Okay? But given I will be playing against myself, I think I will deploy them, and then we start the battle in the next segment. Please understand that there's a lot of tiny exceptions in the game that, seriously, if you see something wrong, I appreciate the benefit of look, man, it was great, but maybe that unit was concealed, or maybe that unit the damage roll modifier was not -1, was actually -2. That's fine, but yeah, it's a learning process for me because it's a completely reviewed rulebook, and for anyone watching the video. So remember, the Americans occupy the village and they will start hidden. I can't hide them from myself. What I'll do is I conceal them. And the Germans obviously enter probably beyond the woods, and the Americans can't see them, and they will also enter concealed. So yeah, anything you need, just leave it in the comments, and see you in the next segment. For there's no turns, so can't say see you in turn 1. No, see you in at 0 hour. That's how last 100 yards takes it. It's by minutes, by tens of minutes, and by hours. So see you in the next segment. Cheers.